All right, welcome back to the Run.Down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel and the Strickland Twitter. And if you're listening to this the day after Strickland Podcast Network, I am Sam. I'm joined by Tyrese. The Knicks win their 8th straight game, beating the Washington Wizards 126 to 106, bringing their record to 23-10 on the season. This was led by the way of strong efforts from Josh Hart with his third triple-double of the season, and Karl-Anthony Towns, who had yet another 30-13 game. Before we get into all of that, though, BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, so I think we will start with one Josh Hart, who kind of woke us up from the three-point line today. Team was like 1 of 11 before Josh Hart hit like 3 straight threes in the second quarter, and that kind of got the Knicks offense rolling a little bit more. I mean, the team was already able to do whatever they wanted to, having their will in the paint. But once Josh started hitting those threes, I felt like it kind of opened up things more. And then from there, he kind of was able to just dominate the rest of the game with his passing and rebounding. He had like 3 rebounds or something, and then in the second quarter, he just started going crazy. Third quarter continued, and then he finished the night with 15. So, I mean, that just shows you what kind of player he is. I mean, we all know what kind of player he is, but this game was like the perfect encapsulation of what Josh Hart brings to this team.
Yeah, I thought he played his ass off, and they needed all those minutes. Second quarter, he put 17, and all of those points are necessary in order to keep pace with the Wizards, who got insane magic ball from their bench again. Corey Kispert and Jonas Valanciunas somehow turned into the fucking Splash Brothers, which was annoying. But yeah, Josh Hart kept the run of the game, and he was just everywhere tonight. He was there offensively, he was there defensively. I feel like he was able to disrupt passing lanes. He worked as a facilitator. Again, he stabilized the team with the bench unit in the second quarter. He did everything you could have asked for the Knicks tonight. And yeah, the fact that he's like a legitimately good shooter now is huge for this lineup.
Yeah, he's like 40% on the year now, and pretty decent volume.
Yeah, like he's taking like 40%. He's taking like I think 7 threes for 100 possessions, which is like decent volume for him. But yeah, the fact that he could like legitimately shoot and shoot it well enough to where he can draw some gravity, which opens up his drives, which opens up his passing lanes. That's a really good spot to be in if you're the Knicks.
Yeah. Josh Hart just doing what we expected him to do. And his stat line is nuts. 23, 15, 10. Those 4 threes in the game were key.
Very LeBron-esque stat line.
On LeBron's birthday.
Happy birthday, LeBron. With Josh James.
But yeah, I mean, he was one part of the mega duo that kind of got it done for us today. Karl-Anthony Towns, 32 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. On no threes. No threes tonight for Karl-Anthony Towns, still able to put up an efficient 32 points. Just shows the type of scoring talent he is. And once again, dominant on the glass. We still have that fouling issue. Picked up 3 first half fouls, so that's something that we do still want to see him cut down on against better teams. It's going to be even a bigger prioritization for him to not do this and minimize the amount of time Precious Achiuwa has to actually play like key minutes on the court. Although he was pretty fine today, but Karl-Anthony Towns, 32 points, 13 rebounds, and looking like a lock for that all-star starter spot. What more can you say for Karl-Anthony Towns?
Yeah, I thought he played great basketball. The rebounding was really good, especially that I want to say second quarter. When the Knicks started to like come back into the game, him being controlling the defensive glass was really huge. 5 offensive rebounds as well. I just feel like him and Hart were just destroying the Wizards on the boards, giving us second opportunities, being able to extend plays and possessions. Yeah, I thought Cat was great tonight. Again, I think his 11th 30-point game of the season. Um, Easily the best big in the East this year. He he's just been fantastic. He's been as advertised for this team um, since the trade happened, and I couldn't be more happy. Only one turnover today as well, which is like really good to see from him. I think he was turning the ball over a decent amount the last couple of games, but he was able to like keep the ball. He was able to finish possessions, score efficiently, and yeah, he's been playing awesome basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all had our misconceptions about Karl-Anthony Towns to before he got here, and you know, he has delivered um, every single every single step of the way since he's gotten here. Um, and yeah, I mean, I literally don't know what else to say about Karl-Anthony Towns because like he's legit been like one of the 5 best players in the East, and like yeah, he's like an MVP candidate, and he's getting all the praise that like Minnesota fans wish that he probably got like the last couple years. And unfortunately, he had to play next to Anthony Edwards, and Rudy Gobert, and on a Minnesota Timberwolves team that didn't have as much playmaking as this Knicks team does. Like you legitimately have great playmaking from almost every single starter spot. OG can do basic passing stuff, but like Josh, McCall, Jalen, they're all pretty good playmakers for their position and just in general. Um, and yeah, I just feel like he didn't have this on the Timberwolves. Like Ant is not a playmaker. Like he's made some strides, but he's not really. And their best playmaker was what, Mike Conley, who's like 38 years old or whatever it is. Like, you know. So I mean, he's on a much better team to be optimized to his fullest potential, and we'll see how much further this can go along.
It also helps that he's not in fucking Minnesota. It's fucking Minnesota. Yeah, like just loser ass city. Yeah, man, he has been fantastic. Um, Again, one of the best players in the East, definitely top 5 MVP candidate. I think at times been the best player in the Knicks. I still think it's Jalen, but it's fairly close. And it's nice to have kind of 1A, 1B situation with Brunson and Cat, where like either one of them can go off for 30. Either one of them can be dominant, and either one of them are capable of being the option that this team needs to win.
Yeah. Also to note, Josh Hart has officially passed Julius Randle on the Knicks all-time triple-double list. But yeah, Julius Randle had 8, and Josh Hart now has 9. It's crazy that Josh Hart like never had a triple-double before he became a Knick, and then as soon as he became a Knick, he has like 9 triple-doubles now. So yeah, that's bizarre.
That's what happens when you get with a real coach and a real organization instead of the loser ass teams in Minnesota, New Orleans and shit, and Portland, fucking teams. That's what happens when you get with a real coach.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen tons of Knicks being able to be optimized on this roster. You just seen like the best of players when they've been on the Knicks. I mean, credit to a lot of players, they still look good off the Knicks. Like Dante's starting to come around. Hartenstein's had a pretty good season. Julius is. RJ
Not on
Barrett's
my
pretty
team.
good. RJ Barrett's pretty good at home, especially in Toronto. But yeah, I mean, most of the guys, I mean, they've obviously had their best moments in New York, but like, yeah. And to their credit too, they weren't all always fully optimized in New York, I would say. Like some of them probably were not playing in like their most optimized role. But they still made it work and they still found success here. So that's one thing you know for sure, that players are gonna have success here no matter what. So
Yeah.
there's that.
I think the Knicks are really good at identifying players that they can optimize and being able to sell on them when they feel like they aren't able to optimize them or replicate their success, which is really good. And a sign of a really strong organization. We've seen it with Brian, we've seen it with Dante, where it's like they get these guys to get them at the peak of their value and then they trade them before the dip happens. You saw it with Randall to a lesser extent. So it's really good to see that the Knicks are able to utilize their pro scouting departments, utilize their analytics departments, and they're able to get quality contributors from whoever they acquire.
Yeah. Let's move on in the box score. OG Anunoby kind of has sort of like a bounce back ish game. He's been really kind of up and down these last couple weeks. 18 points, 8 rebounds today, 1 block. Didn't shoot as efficiently, but was able to hit some threes. I like him taking 11 threes. Like I just like him taking the volume of threes that he's taking. We obviously do want to see him hit more than 36% of them, but it's still pretty good to see him, taking that amount. He hit 4 tonight, which is better than what a lot of nights have been for him recently, which has been just like 0-fers or like 1-fers. So yeah, I mean, OG, he's up and down, but the good thing about this team is that, you don't have to really rely on him to be that consistent offensively. From a night to night basis, like you can have like some nights where he'll go like how he did the last game against the Wizards and we still able to win a game. So that's the beauty of this team. You're just hoping that we can get some better contributions off the bench.
Yeah, the bench has been an issue. I do think Deuce was able to be productive in the second half, which is really good to see. But the fact that the bench is just getting no real burn is something to watch out for. It'd be nice to have somebody who could like pencil in for 25 minutes a night. And with Deuce's struggles, he's just not getting the minutes because it kind of gets hard to keep him out there if he's not going to hit the shots. So you're just kind of hoping for more consistency from Deuce, more scoring for the bench unit in general. And I don't know if you'll get it with this iteration of the bench unit. Maybe there needs to be a trade somewhere. But yeah, the bench is definitely an issue, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be something that I think all Knicks fans are going to be monitoring heading into the trade deadline. Just because, we were expecting, I mean, like, to start the year, Deuce and Campaign were pretty good off the bench, but it's like, when those two are not going, it's like, and then you're relying on, like, Shamit, who's coming off a dislocated shoulder, it's like, it is very, it's just not reliable right now, our production off the bench that we're getting, so that is something that I think the team is going to look to address. I don't know who they're necessarily going to target as bench help, but it's going to be something interesting to monitor because you can't keep. I mean, the starters are able to keep us afloat and win us games, but you also want to be able to give guys a rest, and you want to be able to have some production off the bench too, so that way you can be a deeper team. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Knicks address that. We've seen trades go down this year already, both including the Nets getting rid of players that are ruining their tank. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see as we get into the new year, the trade deadline, like how the Knicks decide to tackle their issues. Like, do they trade Mitch? Do they wait for Mitch to get back? Do they maybe try to trade Precious or some capacity? Are the rookies on the table at all? So it'll be interesting. I have my ideas. I've tweeted about some of them. I let my thoughts be known about the DFS trade. I would really want to hear from the Knicks. So it'll be interesting to see how they tackle it and if they decide the weaknesses that the team have are weaknesses or if there's something that they're comfortable being like kind of features instead of bugs.
Yeah. And we do get some comments that are talking about various topics, and we'll get to those as we get to the comments. Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges kind of with quiet games. Brunson 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. And Mikal 13, 6 and 6 with 2 steals. Both 1 of 6 from 3. Very quiet games, but didn't matter in the grand scheme. We were able to just turn it on in that third quarter. That third quarter, especially, like that's when. No, actually, it was the fourth quarter because the third quarter was still relatively close. I mean, third quarter the team was able to have offense, but like, I would say towards the end of the third, heading into the fourth quarter, that's when the Knicks really start to turn things on. Really start to get some separation. And yeah, that's what a good team or a great team is supposed to be able to do. The Knicks recently moved up to third in the NBA.com power rankings. As they're going through this win streak. And the Celtics are, dropping games here and there to teams that they probably shouldn't, but they are anyways, like the Magic and the Pacers as of late. So the Knicks are moving up in the power rankings, and, this is what you expect them to see. You expect to see them do against teams like the Wizards. They should be able to just turn it on in, like, the middle of the third quarter and be like, all right, we're done playing games. Like, let's beat the shit out of the Wizards and end this shit. And that's what they did.
Yeah. I think good teams all have a switch, and the switch was not working Saturday, but it was definitely working tonight. That switch was broken as fuck Saturday, but they started really pulling away in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter they kind of just blew the game up with that Josh Hart, Karl-Anthony Towns bench unit. I think going big really kind of gave them the opportunity to get in transition a little bit more, gave them some opportunities to get rebounds and to get deflections. And once the Knicks were able to put that game away with that lineup, then you kind of saw, like, this is why the switch exists.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some comments. We got some comments here. Some asking about trades, some addressing the schedule, some addressing tonight's game. Shout out to everyone that's in here. Make sure you guys leave a comment if you guys want to discuss something that you are thinking of that we might not be thinking of in the moment. And yeah. Ace Bouchard says, sad we didn't see a Josh Hart 40 piece. Yeah, he'll be the one starter that doesn't actually hit 40 this year. So we can all put that to rest, I think, at this point. Jordan Bub, Josh Hart tonight, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 of 8 from 3. And he also brings up the last Knicks with at least 10 games of 30 points and 10 rebounds in a season. Karl-Anthony Towns this year, Julius Randle in 22-23, Julius Randle in 21-22, Patrick Ewing in 96-97, and Ewing once again in 94-95. So elite company for Karl-Anthony Towns, rare company for Karl-Anthony Towns, as we all know the Knicks' rich history with players having success.
Telling you, man. All I'm saying is, hey, that 32 looking. If you squint, that 32 looking like a little bit of like a 33. That's all I'm saying. All right,
man.
I never see Patrick Ewing hit a 3 in my life.
That wasn't the game back then.
If he was like that, he would have got it done.
All right. We have a question here from John Leary. He asked, campaign in the doghouse.
I just think campaign
just hasn't had it. And Thibs is just like, all right, if you don't have it, I'm not going to like force it.
Yeah. And I just, Honestly, with campaign, it's like if he doesn't have it, you don't play him anyway, and he's only getting the Brunson minutes, the non-Brunson minutes. So that's kind of his role.
And this is what teams have been doing with campaign anyways recently. If you look at the Sixers stint, if you look at the Bucks stint, like his minutes started to dwindle down as he played with these teams longer. He just doesn't have the same juice that he had when he was on Phoenix. Like he just can't give you like the spurts that he gives us of like high energy play and like being able to hit the threes and stuff like that. When they're not dropping, it's like he's not really giving you much else. So you can't really risk playing him that often out there. So, I mean, the team isn't really deep enough for us to just be like, all right, sit campaign. But like at this point, it's like you either have him hurting us or not. So
yeah, it's like the Knicks are going to try to win the minutes. Teams especially going to try to win minutes. So if campaign doesn't have it, then campaign is just not going to play.
John Larry also says, wish we could trade for Corey Kispert. He'd be a perfect fit for the bench.
Yeah, I would like Corey, but it just kind of stinks that the Knicks don't really have a lot of trade assets right now.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of players that I feel like the Knicks should target, but it's a matter of like assets and like what are you giving up at this point and making contracts match and stuff like that. And, you know, with the whole CBA and stuff like that, shout out to CJ McCollum and Grant Williams for messing up shit for teams. Messed up shit for himself in a way, too.
All I'm saying is the CBA was so bad that God himself struck down Grant Williams' ACL. That shit was an abomination.
Retribution. Right here, Jordan Bubb says the Knicks are 23-10. They've played 5 more away games than home games. They're a half game back of the defending champion Boston Celtics for the 2nd seed. I think this is going to be the year that maybe the Knicks probably overtake the Celtics in the standings, possibly, just because the Celtics have been dropping a lot of games to teams that they probably shouldn't. They have guys. I mean, it's classic thing with a team that just came off of championship, and not saying it's necessarily a hangover for them, but like for the Celtics, like Derek White's been in like a crazy slump recently. Porzingis has been hurt. Drew Holiday's actually been like hurt too. And yeah, I mean, they're deep, but like those guys not playing, and then Derek White being hurt, it just allows for them to drop some games against teams like we've been seeing them do. So
yeah, I think that a lot of what the Celtics relied on last year, aside from playing like a really bad East that was injured, was the fact that like, Al Horford didn't look washed, and they got a lot more contributions from guys like Jaylen Brown, who notoriously had struggled in the playoffs. So now it just kind of seems like a lot of these guys are struggling. Al Horford doesn't look as physically capable as he did last year. Yeah, he just looks spry. That's a good word to use. So it'll be interesting to see how they end up looking down the stretch, especially with Porzingis having injury issues. If their big rotation becomes an issue, then that is something maybe the Knicks can exploit, in my opinion. So,
yeah, for sure. I mean, center isn't really the Knicks' strongest. I mean, it's strong in like their starter, but like after that, it's like, you know, Precious can give you moments here and there. But like, I mean, if the Knicks have that advantage over them in that matchup, if like Porzingis and Horford are really not there, then just saying.
You're not wrong.
Just saying. So, yeah. John Whitespot says, a little concerned as the Knicks have the hardest strength of schedule for the rest of the year and have had the easiest so far.
Hey, team got to play us too.
Yeah, I mean, teams gotta keep up with us in scoring, like especially if we got it going. They gotta keep us. They gotta keep up with us. Um, and I will say this: this has been a common theme in the past couple years too. Like we've had easier schedules to like start off, and then we've had like it would be like, oh, Knicks have like one of the toughest schedules for the rest of the year, and then we'd end up like winning like a whole bunch of those games anyway. So like the Knicks, I trust the Knicks. They've always found a way to win, and I think they'll continue to do that just based on what they've done already this year. Um, so yeah, I trust them. I feel like this portion of the schedule for them to like play all these easy games per se has allowed them to like get the chemistry, work through all these kinks and bugs that they really need to get through for when they actually play these harder teams. It comes a little bit easier for them. So
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the Knicks used this time to gel, and now they're able to benefit from it. So, especially because January coming up, I think they play the Bucks, they play OKC twice. They play Denver again. They play Memphis. So like you're against some teams that like can give you a challenge, and it'll be interesting to see how the Knicks are able to adapt and play against these teams now that they have some chemistry with them.
yeah, I mean, and that's what we saw last year from this team in January. Um, and with the team last year in January, it was so weird because like they didn't necessarily. I mean, most of the rest of the team had time to gel, but like no one really knew how to play with like OG yet. So he was just like running and cutting, and like people were finding him and stuff like that. And then Deuce like fully got integrated into the lineup too. So it was very weird how last year's team kind of gelled that quickly and kind of were able to run off all those games. They were just so dominant so quickly. But I feel like you're gonna see another run like that, not including this run right now, because like during that run last year in January, we were still like beating teams that were like legitimately good and stuff like that. So yeah, I think we'll start to see that run when the Knicks schedule starts to get a little bit tougher. I think we'll still be able to like run off some games against teams. Like I think we'll still be able to do that. So
Yeah, I have faith in this team, and I think they'll be able to compete against the top teams in the top teams in the league.
yeah. Jordan Bubb says only 17 NBA players have a plus minus of plus 200 or better this season. All Knicks 5 starters are on that list. Yeah, elite starting lineup right there.
I mean, I
I saw,
think you could argue probably the best starting lineup in the league.
yeah. And I saw a stat yesterday. Someone had posted there. I forgot. I think it was B-Ball Index. They posted that the Knicks are like top 5 in. They're the only team that's top 5 in mid-range, close and 3-point shooting, something like that. So yeah, I mean, it just further proves how elite this team is offensively, especially the starters. Yeah. Ace Bouchard says, honestly, had no idea Julius Randle had that many triple doubles, probably all in 2021.
He got 6 in 2021. He got 1 in 21-22, and then he got 1 in 23-24. Don't ask me why I know that. I just know that.
Oh, here it is. Ace Bouchard says it had 6. He says, yeah, 6 of Julius triple doubles came in 2021, and then 1 in 22 and 1 in 23-24.
I can probably tell you the game where it happened. It was that 2021 season I was locked in. But yeah, yeah, man, he has just been cooking. Oh, he was cooking that season. But Josh Hart has been incredible, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing much else we can say about Josh Hart and what he's done this year. All right, here we go. We got BX Boy 71. He says, how do you guys feel about Jordan Clarkson?
No. In no capacity whatsoever. No. The problem with Clarkson is he's just going to get the pain minutes. It's not going to be worth it to give him additional minutes because he really can't play next to Brunson, nor would you want him to play next to Brunson. And he's going to take deuce minutes. The problem with like bolstering the bench unit is you need somebody like that can legitimately play 25 minutes, but they're also going to need to be a creator, and they're also going to phase deuce out. So that's the question. Is like, do you want to like have Deuce be like a 15-minute a night player? I don't know. But he is struggling, so like it's something you entertain. I think if anybody I want for the Jazz would be Sexton more than Jordan Clarkson. Like Sexton legitimately would fill that like quickly-esque void that the bench unit needs. They can give you like a solid like 14 or 15 off the bench, create shots, be able to run offense when Brunson sits. So it'd be interesting to see like if they could get a Sexton, what that could do. But yeah, Jordan Clarkson, I don't think would feel that it would.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I feel like we need more wing depth on the bench. Like I feel like that's what this team needs. I do think we do need a creator, of course, but I think this team also needs wing depth as well. Holy shit! This Monday Night Football game is fucking ridiculous.
They squabbling?
No, they're just like going band for band. Like it's 28-21 right now.
Oh shit! 49.
And like it's like every person's like scoring a touchdown. Like this was like the perfect game to like bet on. If you were like betting today, like if you like just picked like 6 randoms guys to score a touchdown, you'd probably get it.
Future New York Giants quarterback Brock Purdy is hooping. So
future what?
Future New York Giants quarterback Brock Purdy.
Oh wow, we've stooped that low.
We're not getting Shadur.
I blocked the Giants on Twitter. I don't need that in my life right now. I blocked them. I blocked the Yankees. I blocked every page associated with both those teams. Yeah. I don't need anything. I blocked Aaron Judge. I'm so close to blocking players on the Giants. Like I'm just like done with every New York sports team that's not the Knicks right now. Like
just block.
The Knicks are the only New York team that you can rely on these days.
Whoa! The Mets?
What have they done?
In terms
of on the field production.
Let it cook.
All right, see, that's what I'm saying. The only team that has shown us consistency in their field of play at a high level of success, besides the Liberty, of course, are the Knicks. It's been basketball. New York basketball has been carrying the city.
Yeah, except for the Nets.
Except for the Nets, but they don't count. They're like New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean,
they should go back.
Yeah,
but yeah, basketball has been carrying the city. I blocked every single team that has not associated with a New York basketball team that is successful. I almost blocked the Liberty. If the Liberty folded in that game.
Oh yeah, they folded that game 5.
I was blocking them. I was blocking Sabrina. I was blocking Brianna Stewart after the performances they put up in that game. But anyways, back to our Knicks.
Just a Nye and Jocko Jones, man. God damn.
But anyways, back to our Knicks. The ex-boy does say that sounds like Clarkson will probably go for a second-round pick. I don't know. Danny Ainge is weird. I know the market now for the role players. I guess the Nets have kind of pretty much set it with their trades is like second-round picks because no one really has first-round picks to trade. And teams that do have first-round picks to trade, I don't think they're really going to trade them for the players that teams want first-round picks for. So there's that conundrum there. But hey, we'll see. Jordan Bub also says Knicks have 3 back-to-backs in January. Road and road, OKC and Bulls, home and home, Bucks and Pistons, home and home, Atlanta at MSG, and Brooklyn and the Clays on TNT. OKC game will be tough. Bucks game will be tough. Atlanta will be tough, of course, because Atlanta's just annoying this year, and they're that team for us. Brooklyn shouldn't be annoying, but they probably will be because, like, even though they've traded every single player, they still have found a way to like be in games. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm confident in us having a positive record in January. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think they'll win. They'll win enough games in January. 15 games in January. I think you can. If they win like 9-6, I'd be happy. That's what I kind of expect. I expect them to go like 9-6, 10-5.
I could see it.
I'm not scared of no damn OKC. No fucking iShard. iShard is about to get the fuck like they gonna put that nigga in fucking pick and roll and they gonna light his ass up. I'm not worried about no fucking iHeart.
The games that I'm interested the most in January are probably that Timberwolves game on the 17th. I'm going to try my hardest to save money that I've been winning lately to use it for that game. I'm gonna try my hardest to use some of that money for that game because I know that game is probably going to be very entertaining.
Just buy some tickets, bro. We know you got it.
And yeah, I think that's the one game that actually just really moves me. I just want to see how like the team is going to address, that whole, are they going to show that tribute video again? Because I know they wasted it in the preseason game.
Oh, I swear, if we give Dante DiVincenzo a tribute video for 1 year, you're getting a tribute video. That's so nasty.
We've seen tribute videos for less.
I'm sorry, bro. Dante better get like a nice graphic. I'm cool with that. Like, if Julie's getting a tribute video, he's gonna get it. Girls, he's gonna get it. If they do like the fake, we're gonna introduce him like he's part of the starting lineup, that's bullshit. Don't give me that shit. I don't want to hear no Julie. No, grow up. We're not trying to hear that. I want to hear no Dante. No, ew. Like he played here for a year. He hit threes.
And he gave us probably one of the single most iconic moments that we've had as Knicks fans for our lives.
Okay, I agree, but like if we give it our tribute videos for 1 year of service, like that's not even shit that would get you fucking tribute to the military. Why the fuck you get tributes for the Knicks? That'd be a nasty.
I'd argue his was more impactful than some people's stints in.
It's like going to the Coast Guard and like hooping in the Coast Guard, bro. Like you important, but like we don't care. That's just me. Think of it. If Jalen doesn't put in the call, so whatever.
I don't mind, and they're probably doing it in good faith because he'll probably be back here soon, anyways. After he gets like bought out from wherever he gets traded to or whatever.
He's been hooping. He's not getting bought out.
He has been hooping. So shout out to him. I mean, he takes a while to adjust. Like even last year with us, he took a while to adjust to the Knicks, and like, didn't he like start the year coming off the bench, and then he actually got pushed into the starting lineup and stuff like that after things happened on the team, roster construction, et cetera. But yeah, I mean, he takes a while to adjust, and once he's fully adjusted, and you're playing the style of play that like allows him to be successful. Like one thing that I noted on the Timberwolves broadcast, to just a quick sidebar, is like they noted in the game yesterday versus the Spurs that almost went to overtime. But Jeremy Sohan was on the court for God knows what reason on offense. But the Timberwolves broadcast, they had noted, they were like, Dante's like starting to do like less like self-creating like threes, and he's like doing more catch and shoot threes, and like that's what's been helping him get in rhythm better lately. So like you got to play to his strengths. Like he was good in taking pull-ups sometimes last year, but that wasn't necessarily his strength. Like he was really good off catch and shoot. So got to play to your player's strengths. But yeah, he took a while to adjust last year. Jordan Bob also brings up the Knicks have 8 games against teams with winning percentages above 500 in January. OKC on the road, Magic at MSG, OKC at MSG, Bucks at MSG, Wolves at MSG, Hawks at MSG, Memphis at MSG, Denver at MSG. A lot of home games in January. A lot of home games.
I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot of free meat. I'm seeing a lot of.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. All right. Okay. Oh, you know what I mean. I'm seeing a lot
Do
of
I?
W's. Seeing a lot of W's. I'm seeing a lot of.
All right, that's much better than free meat. That's crazy.
Okay. I'm just saying it looked winnable.
You could have said it's a buffet. You could have said a whole lot of other things, man.
I'm seeing a lot of food. There we go.
There we go. That's much better.
I'm seeing a lot of food.
I mean, the Knicks, they haven't played a lot of home games, so it's like weird for me to like even like judge. Like, I mean, they've been good at home, obviously, but like it feels like it's been such a long time since we've seen them play at home. The last home game we played, what was it? Was it the
Christmas game?
Christmas Day game, yeah. So yeah, I mean, they play pretty good at home. Macau plays really good at home. I know that for sure. He's probably gonna have some pretty good games. But yeah, I think the OKC games, both on the road and at MSG, they're gonna be very interesting because OKC is seen as like the title favorite in the West right now. And like that's going to be a big test for the Knicks. You know, their expectation is to be competing with the likes of like Boston's and OKC's. So like our last actual contender that we legitimately faced was probably Boston, and that was opening night, and that was way before all of this has happened with the Knicks. So it's like this is going to be the Knicks' like first real test. So I'm very interested to see how they tackle this matchup. It's gonna be interesting to see like if Caruso's healthy and stuff like that too. So
I will say, taking a look at the Boston schedule. The Boston schedule real quick. They play the Timberwolves, they play the Rockets, they play the Thunder, and they play the Nuggets all on the road. So good week for the Knicks, and they could probably be the 2 seed outright. So that would be really interesting to see. Hopefully that holds. But yeah, like between like the Knicks being able to get back at home, the Celtics kind of sputtering a little bit, there's a chance to like really go with a cushion in the East and overtake the Celtics. If you are going to play the Celtics in the second round, nice to at least have those games to start the series at home and potentially Game 7 at home. It'll be very interesting, and I'm hopeful that the Knicks can at least get a top 2 seed.
That is the goal right there. That is the goal. Since opening night, actually, the Celtics are 22-9 with a 9 net rating, and the Knicks are 23-9 with a 9.3 net rating. So, ignoring the Cavs because we don't care about them and they're not a real basketball team. This is the 2 teams that matter in the East. The Cavs have to show us in the playoffs. Like, I'm sorry, they just have to.
I mean, in general, the Cavs just have to like show it. If they can't do it in the playoffs, then like this is just the 2015 Hawks, and I do feel like they are getting a 2015 Hawks vibe, justified or not. But yeah, like I don't think that anybody like rates the Cavs until like they can do it in the playoffs. The Cavs have always been good in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, like they obviously have a lot of continuity, so like that's what makes it, you know. And that's why they're so successful to start the year. Like that's why they're like what 20 whatever and 4.
27-4.
27-4. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, that they really don't matter in the grand scheme of the East. Sorry. Like they just don't. They got to show us. They really have to show us. I know as a Knicks fan, like, what do we have to say? Like, we've only been to the second round multiple times, whatever it may be. But like, we've come really close to being in the conference finals several times. Closer than the Cavs have been recently. So I'll say that much. But yeah, I think that this Knicks team, they're right there with the Celtics. And like when you watch this Knicks team, they just have this dominance about the way that they play that is very similar to what the Celtics are able to do when they are humming offensively.
Yeah, I agree. the offense just comes so easy. It really just comes so easy, and like the fact that you have a bunch of guys who are capable of going and getting hot. I think the Celtics put up a lot of threes, but I think the Knicks' offensive pieces are more dynamic in the way that like they're able to score in different ways. They don't need to rely on the three ball to like generate good looks, and the Knicks just have incredible shot mapping. Like you have guys who can take stuff off the dribble, you have guys who can take it assisted, you have a bunch of versatility in terms of like scoring inside, scoring outside. So it's just like this feels like the best offense in the league, even though it's probably like I think second or third. But like this feels like the best offense in the league, and the three ball has been like up and down for the most part. So once that three ball is a little bit steadier, and like I feel a lot better about this team's offense.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what else we got here. Kid Kuro. Since Knicks going into 2025, riding an 8-game win streak. This is life in marvelous times, for sure. He says he's also had Jets fans try to shun him from the fan base because he said the Jets are trash and he won't be supporting them as long as Woody Johnson is around. Hey, man, good on you. Don't let these sports teams put that negativity in your life that you don't need. The Knicks are the only source of our positivity these days. We got to keep it up.
Your positivity.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Listen. All I know is the Mets about to make me real happy this season, so I'm chilling. I don't care about the Rangers. I don't care about the fucking Giants. They can do whatever. I care about Malik Neighbors in fantasy and Tyrone Tracy in fantasy, and that's what I'm concerned with. Otherwise, I'm getting a lot of happiness this summer off of Mets playoff wins. So I'm chilling. Y'all enjoy Cody Bellinger and Max Fried, bro. That's not my life.
I won't be watching, so it's not my life either.
You could be tapped in by like the end of August.
Nah.
Cap.
I gave them up for a long time after 2009. I can do it again.
Aaron Judge is going to be hitting like 47 home runs heading into like
will not care.
September.
Will not care.
And you're going to be like,
will not care and won't see it because I have every term associated with these teams muted on Twitter and I have everything associated with them blocked. Like I am not going to be locked in at all. I won't see it. I won't care. I won't even think to care. I'll be cashing parlays from basketball and hockey. Like I won't care. I won't care about them.
Hockey parlays are gross.
Hockey be making you that bread though. But anyways, yeah, I won't care. I don't care. The Knicks, they will have my occupation, and grad school will have my occupation because I will be in grad school by then.
Real shit.
Let's see what else we have here. Jordan Bub asks, will the Knicks get a third All-Star?
No,
they won't. I don't think any team will get 3 All-Stars this year.
No, the only team capable of getting 3 All-Stars is the Cavs, and I think the Cavs
possibly.
I think they can probably end up getting Mobley. Well, I think they'll get Mobley regardless. They could probably end up getting Garland. I was thinking like the East guards just kind of stink. It's Brunson, it's Mitchell, it's Dame.
Cade.
Yeah, Brunson, Mitchell, Dame, Cade. Trey probably gets in. He doesn't deserve it, but Trey probably gets in. Like, do you want to give it to Hero or LaMelo?
Probably Hero will get it. He's actually been like pretty solid this year for a team. He's like barely keeping the Heat afloat while Jimmy Butler is like flirting with other teams with his hair color.
And Bam shits himself.
And Bam is obsessed with Asia Wilson, so he doesn't care about basketball anymore.
Shit, me too. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either, but you know, that's what he is right now. But yeah, I mean, I think Hero probably gets in. Maybe they give him a sympathy vote in for getting tossed to the floor like that. No, Tyrese Halliburton will not be making the East All-Stars this year. He's absolutely garbage. He's been brutal. His back hurts. He has a bad mattress, etc. So
can't do it on the road. But yeah. Tyrese Halliburton living off of like 9 games he played last season is the filthiest shit in the world.
Living off that NBA Cup run, man. It's so nasty.
Wally was right. Wally was fucking right.
Which they didn't even win. But yeah, I think the East All Stars. I don't think any team will get 3, East or West. So yeah, I think it'll be fairly balanced. I mean, the top teams will get 2 if they're deserving, especially. So yeah. All right, the Knicks play again on Wednesday on New Year's Day. They play the Jazz at home. Jazz have been like competitive, like really. I tweeted this out today. I feel like I said all the bad teams, like there are no like give me bad teams. Like there are no games against bad teams that are give me's anymore. Like you have to earn these games. Like the Knicks had to fight for like 3.5, like 2.5 quarters, basically. Before like really being able to put away the Wizards. There are no like bad teams that are just like, all right, we're gonna like walk in here and just like automatically take this win. Like all the bad teams this year are like really competitive. The Jazz right now, I mean, the Nuggets aren't really like the best team in the West anymore, but like they're like up by 2 on the Nuggets at halftime, and they were like going down to the wire with the Sixers the other day, who had all 3 of their stars playing. So like it was a competitive game, and the Jazz have been competitive. I think the game on Wednesday will be another one of those games that the Jazz are competitive in. For part of it, I won't say all of it. For part of it, it will be very annoying for us fans watching at home that would want this game to like turn into a blowout. But I think the Jazz, they're again like all these other bad teams, very competitive this year.
Yeah. They will be annoying. I'm prepared for them to be annoying, mainly because they have like 6 dudes that want to get traded to us. So everybody's going to try to hoop and get their numbers up to force a trade, which is nasty. Nasty as all hell, but I think the Knicks will be able to pull it out. I just want to get to 10 wins in a row. It's been a while since the Knicks got to 10 wins in a row.
We have not gotten to the 10 wins in a row thing yet, ever. Like every time we think we're going to get there, and like the Knicks lose in like the stupidest way possible. Oh my
They had what? They've had 3 9-game winning streaks, and every single time it comes to the 10th game, they just shit themselves.
They lose in the stupidest way possible every time it gets to 10. I mean, by the time we get to 10 now, if we get to 10, it will be what? OKC?
Yeah,
that will be the 10th game. And
yeah.
I feel like that game's gonna end so stupidly if the Knicks are still riding that win streak.
If they win against OKC, they're losing to the Bulls. Just
yes, for sure.
Talk it down, like knowing them, they're gonna go all out against OKC, barely win that game, and then the Bulls are gonna beat us by like 50. Like it'll be nasty. Like, Zach LaVine's gonna be playing angry because we didn't trade for him in like 2022. Like. Don't even watch that game because that game's going to be a blowout. Like Josh Hart is going to have like 3 plays in the first quarter that piss you off, and then you're just not going to watch. You're not going to watch anymore, and that's okay.
I saw a comment here from Larry Israel, 11 in the COVID year. Let me look that up real quick because I've been looking up their longest win streaks.
No, they had 9 in the COVID year.
Longest win streak. What season was that? 21?
Yeah.
All right, New York Knicks' longest win streaks. Let's see. Nope. It was 9 that year. We've hit 9 every single year since. I mean, except for the 21-22 year, but 2020, 21, we had a 9-game win streak. 22-23, we had a 9-game win streak. 23-24, we had a 9-game win streak. We haven't surpassed 10 since 2012-2013.
Yeah.
Where we won 13 straight. We also had multiple 8-game win streaks. In 2010, 2011, we had an 8-game win streak. In 2013, 14, we had an 8-game win streak at the end of the year in like March when we all thought we were gonna like make some like magical playoff run.
Chris Copeland and Kurt Thomas was hooping. Good times.
No, that was the year after that. It was like the year with
Oh, that was the where Melo had his knee surgery.
That was the one. No, that was the year where he had the 62-point game.
Oh, okay.
In 22-23, we had an 8-game win streak. So we had an 8-game win streak and we had a 9-game win streak in the same year. And then this year, we have an 8-game win streak once again. We have not surpassed 10-game win streak since that year. So that is something that, as fans, we are consistently hoping for, but it always ends in the stupidest way possible for us.
Also, don't look now. Golden State's beating the vaunted Cavs.
By how much?
Right now, it's just only 6, but hey,
No.
Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me.
All right. So yeah, the Knicks still play the Jazz on Wednesday. I'll be back for that stream. Before I have to go back to work on Thursday. But yes, thank you to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, check out all links in the description. We got links to the site, merch, Patreon, Twitter, and Instagram. We also on Blue Sky as well, so follow us there. And yeah, everyone enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your New Year's Eve. Peace.